Welcome viewers to another video, and this one's going to be kind of a different one. It's a little update kind of about what I'm doing with my bulking season and stuff like that. So I'm at 180 right now, and you see, the thing I like about bulks is you feel good while working out, but you're losing some, like I'm losing some of my six-pack. I'm a lot slower on the track. Like I remember when I was 170, I was able to run 11.1, 11.2 pretty consistently. I'm like at 11.6, so with the high 11s right now, because I'm carrying like 10 pounds of extra fat in like water. So if I shed that, then hopefully I could like shed at least 5 pounds, like do like a mini cut for my track meet that I plan on running on May. It's gonna be against other colleges, see how I stack up. If I could get like top 20, all I just want to do is run low 11s, because that's my goal. If I could hit like between 11.3, 11.1, I'll be happy. But anyway, yeah, so update. I know some students for my new job found my YouTube channel. I don't know how you guys did it, but you guys found a way. So for those watching this video or my old videos, the school my friend's school that I'm talking about is not the school that I'm working in right now. It's not the school that he's working. It's not about the school he's working in right now. It's not the school that I'm working in right now. So don't think about I'm talking about you or talking about administrations. I'm pretty sure that the administrators from my new job and my friend's new job probably gonna see this and think like, oh, he doesn't like the school, and we gotta talk to him and stuff like that. So it's not that. I like where I am, because you know why I like it? Because the students are chill, and it's way better than my friend's school. So I know how bad my friend's old school, because I know how bad schools could be, and I don't got it that bad. So I'm not talking about you. I'm cool where I'm at, stuff like that. But the topic I wanted to address today is kind of like how it feels, to get old. Because I'm 25, about to be 26 in May. And many people might say, oh, you're still young and stuff like that. You already have a job. You already have like a career path and stuff like that. But the thing is, in the back of my mind, I know I have a career path. I know that the more years I work in this career, I'll make more money. But when I get that money and when I progress in my career, so does time progress. And time is something you can never get back. So I'm at the point where I'm just losing time at this point. Like when you're in high school, you think about like, oh, I can't wait till I graduate. I can't wait till I go to college so I can be this, be that, be this. Well, like I already did all that, and I'm at where I wanted to be. Now, after that, it's just that the time is ticking away. Like, let me explain my experience. So in high school, didn't really think a lot about college. Then when I went to college, I was like, oh, I like music, so let me do something with music. I haven't really started making my own music till now, so I do plan on like kind of making some music. But I really like learning about music. I really like the theory. I really like actually sitting down and practicing. And then I thought that being a music teacher would be a good career path, which it is. I love being a music teacher. I love giving private lessons. And I love seeing when like my students are like happy, like, oh yeah, I did that. And so that happened. And then that usually takes 4 years to get your degree. And once I got my degree, I was like, oh, if I wanted to be a teacher, I need to spend like an extra year to get my credential. So I spend my extra year getting my credentials, and that's where you usually go to the really good schools where you see like your mentor teachers are like experts. And my student teaching experience really wanted me to be a teacher, because they ran everything tight. Everything was like perfect. And I was like, if my school that I work at is half as good as the schools that I went student teaching, I'll be happy. Even in my current job, I'm working to get at that level. And that's kind of the goals I want to have. But I know it's going to take time. The more time it takes, it's over. So by that time, you're like 22 years old. And then 23 is when I finally got my first teaching job. And this also goes for my friend too. My friend got a teaching job. And his experience was pretty bad. Like, he walked in there. I remember him telling me that when he walked in there, it was so he tried so hard not to smile because he was so happy he finally became a teacher. But then the first month, for him, it was like very terrible because all the concerns he gave to the administrators, they didn't have anything. And then there was one time he sent a text to the principal saying, "Oh, these things happening in my class, and I need something to be addressed." And the principal like messaged back saying, "Oh yeah, this is only for emergencies." Like that right there kind of tells you like, "Oh, I don't want to hear it. Just deal with it." And well, right there is when my friend thought like he doesn't want to be here anymore. And it's so early on, like 1 to 2 months into the first job, and it's like, is this what teaching is? Is this how the schools are? And the thing is, schools are not like that. When you have a responsive administrators who addresses teachers' issues, the issues of the school, then not only the teachers are gonna have a good time, but also the students. So yeah, that my friend wasted 2 years. He spent 22, 23. Those are his year when he was 22 and 23. Actually, he became a teacher at 23. And yeah, so 23 and 24. When he was 23 and 24 years old, he wasted his years. And he could never get those years back. And that's terrible because teachers that work in, or any person who works in a job like that, you're wasting your time because you're not getting experience. You're not building up your resume. It's just hurting you because those are years you can never get back. So when I'm like 60 years old or when I'm on my deathbed, I could be like, man, if I just had those 2 years back, I could do a lot more. And you're hurting your employees. I'm just saying that right now, administrators or managers from other jobs who do that, who kind of make the experience terrible when you know you have the power to change it, but you don't. You don't do it because it's not your priority. How your employees feel is not your priority. That's when it hurts, and that's when they waste their time. And for my friend, he wasted even more time because even though his conditions weren't addressed, he couldn't do anything to improve his resume because they just shot him down every time. But anyway, when I was 23 and when my friend was 23, when you're in the classroom, when you're in the school, you feel like, oh, I'm like the new kid, like you're probably one of the youngest teachers here. I still got time. But then 24, you're like, oh, I still got time. You know, I'm still kind of the youngin'. I might be like one of the top 5 youngest teachers. But then 25, that's when it hits. That's when you're like, 23 years old starts showing up, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I just graduated. I'm a first year teacher, and then you're standing there like, yeah, I remember I did that 2 years ago. And when that hits you, be like, oh, I'm only 5 years away from 30. And if you're 30 years old and you don't got things set, then you know your life is done right now. Like if I'm not set by 30 years old, I'm done. Like that's why I kind of want my life to be figured out. And that's 25 is when you start feeling old. That's like the countdown to being an unk, basically. With how you guys say it, unk. And I'm on that countdown to being an unk because I'm 25, but I'm only 4 months away from being 26. And then that's 4 years from legit unk status. People 30 years old are old, you know? I'm like right now is when I have the midlife crisis. 25 is when you have the midlife crisis because, you know, you can't enjoy anything when you're an old man. Like 40 years old, you're not enjoying anything. So your life is like 30. I mean, once you graduate college, 20, 21 to 40, that's like your life right there. Anything after that is just like old man status. Like you can't work out that much. You're not going to be as fit. You can't run anymore. You can't like do anything. You just basically sit and chill. I guess you can always play your music. Music could last me until I'm old. But stuff, physically, it's just not going to work for you anymore. And that's what I feel like. Once you hit 25, you're on the countdown to being an unk. 30, you're an unk. And then 40, you're old man. If you're 40 plus, you're old man. And 50, you might as well be retired at that point. Like, I don't plan on working past 55 is the max. Like, and why they do it so late too? Like, you retire, you don't work, but what are you gonna do? You're an old man. You can't even enjoy the money you get. So that's kind of how I feel at my age. And let me know if you're feeling the same way, other teachers, if you're like 30 plus or at my age or a new teacher. Because 23 is probably the best year as a teacher, because you feel like, oh, I'm in the classroom and I'm the new kid in town. 22 is probably the best age before that, but the thing is, you don't have a job, because that student teaching stuff is free. So when you do 22, you have the best experiences because you're an adult and you can still do stuff, but just you don't get paid. That's the only thing. 23 is when you actually start getting paid, and you feel better. At least from my friend's experience, it was worse for him because it's a terrible experience. He wasted 2 years. So technically, me and him are like 23 right now, because those 2 years they stole from us, because, well, they stole from my friend, especially because he could never get those back, and he feels like this is where he should have started when he came out of school. This school is where he should have been at. These experiences is how it should have been, not the old school. So I guess you could say that we identify as 23 years old, if that's a thing, because I want those 2 years back, and my friend wants the 2 years back too. This is an update how you feel, how I feel, how my bodybuilding's feeling. I'm gonna have a show, my first show in October, track meet debut in May. See how that goes. See you in the next one.